I feel react to content creators are getting the beats for clip farming.
I got set. This record? Is this recording?
Yo, why the nigga stand like that in the back?
This real quick. We got going. Somebody hugged it. Doodle garbage.
Why does this nigga always blur this shit up? Show me. Or do I gotta find that shit out myself?
Like I said, clip farming has gone way too far. Now, for those who are unfamiliar with the situation, it looks like DDG has had enough of the clip farms of the nicknames. And to be honest with you, I think that this serves as a good and fair warning for those that are coming into any sort of place and space thinking that they can just clip farm. Like I've been telling people on this platform before, clip farming is not a way to make a career. It's not something that's long lasting. It's not something that is fulfilling. And ultimately, like in this situation, it led to some sort of physical violence.
Nigga got beat on for saying doodle garbage. Body slam? No, you gotta show it. Nigga getting body slammed? Show it.
People don't realize these
what? He's getting body slammed?
Can totally get upset with the clip farming and the name calling and the stuff that you get off. These people have real feelings too. So DDG gave people a fair warning just a couple days ago that if they continue with the clip farms, if they continue throwing these insults, if they continue with the name calling, then this is going to be the situation at hand.
If a fan came up to me on some doodle garbage, bro, I'ma hold that so goddamn bad, bro. No better.
Now, whether you
I guess the nigga didn't know better. That nigga know now.
You know,
unless that was the fan body slamming the nigga.
Drop him off in his beef just a couple months ago is clearly affecting him. And I know that some people might think that he's soft or whatever the case may be, but the reality of the situation is, if they don't know you, they're not going to tolerate it. And besides that fact, why do people think that this is the way to get content? Like, I think that this is so short-sighted, and maybe they've been influenced by whoever and whatever or whatever the case may be. But even like Agent says, something that I agree with, clip farming and doing this sort of content is something that is not going to build you an audience. It's not something that's going to be long-lasting, and ultimately you are going to be forgotten the next day.
Why they disrespecting him like that though? You gonna yap nonsense to it right in front of his face? You gotta be prepared for them consequences. It's not even clip farming, it's just being trolls, bro. It's just trying to be remembered. They don't even give a out or being remembered. Like, bro, you're gonna be remembered as I just chose to troll, bro. And
the nigga who got body slammed in front of a national audience.
The foundation of streaming has totally shifted in the past couple of years, where this is what people see as entertainment. This is what people see as the content. They believe that
I ain't gonna lie, seeing nigga get body slammed, that shit is entertaining.
And no matter what expense is the way to go about
doing
these
things.
But ultimately, what he's saying is 1,000% right. At best, this guy will be remembered as the guy who got snuffed out by Dub and whatever cameraman and DDG and his whole collective. At worst, he'll be back to punching the clock. And there's nothing wrong with that, but you did all this in an attempt to become famous for what? Now, I'm not advocating for physical violence, so I wanted to see what Dub and DDG and the rest of the gang had to say about this, because although I don't agree with people insulting people, I do want to give them the benefit of the doubt and hear them out at least.
Grab me, I hit the. So then I'm like, bro, what the f? It was like a large crowd, and security grabbed me. I'm like, bro,
I see Tiny sleep dog, boy. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, my didn't even get on that.
Nah, yes it did.
Bro, I need to see that shit, bro.
No, it didn't.
Yes it did.
Man, come on, bro. You know you can play it. You know you can play the fight, bro. You ain't gotta blur it, bro.
No, but it was.
You ain't gotta blur it.
I had 200.
Nah, your had signal when we did that skit.
Yeah, they said you didn't show anything.
Nah, I know, but still, like, you know how that be, bro. They banned Kelly for a skit, man. I ain't trying to get banned for a skit.
Now, I think DDG was really just trying to save face here. He didn't want to get banned from the con. He didn't want any sorts of issues with Twitch, any sort of lawsuit or anything like that, and he'll deal with it in the private eye. I think that he's a very strategic and tactical person, so, you know, doing those things, he's good at covering them up. But ultimately, at the end of the day, and I can give this perspective because I am literally on the grounds of DreamCon. I came down for the weekend, and I'm recording this video.
I want to go to DreamCon one day.
None of this really did anything at the con. None of this shook the airwaves. And all this guy got was the brakes beat off him. He was so unmemorable after the situation, it's almost amazing. Which has me thinking again about points that I've had in the past about clip farming and what it does.
Just imagine being the nigga remember for getting the shit like, oh no, bro. I'm deleting all social medias. I'm making, if I see a post on it, I'm making 50 alt accounts and spam reporting it, bro. I'm doing so much to make sure that shit is never seen again, bro. Making sure, bro.
In my last video about Streamer University, I had a take about these new content creators getting into this lane and don't rely on clip farming because it is not going to be something that will benefit you in the long run. If you don't remember, there were some content creators
No
who
Limit J.
broke into
Agent was on that nigga ass, bro.
They thought that he was running some black market and wanted to play into this whole theme of I'm taking advantage of the black market, stealing from it. But they literally broke into his actual room where actual things are, and it did not turn out the best for these guys.
Where is Jay?
Where's J nigga? Yo, if he blur one more thing, bro.
Y'all think it's appropriate to come in my room when I'm not there? It's a difference between content.
Even in that interaction,
that nigga so
No Limit
dirty.
J still doesn't
Bro.
understand the difference. Agent is seriously looking for him and voluntarily says, I'm right here. Now, I don't think he's being forthcoming and truthfully saying, hey, this is me, I'm No Limit J. I think he still thinks that this is still a part of some elaborate skit and
Where's
scam,
J
but he
nigga
doesn't
at?
realize that he's crossed the line. He's literally broken into somebody's room, and
Bro,
all
that's
for the
funny,
sake
bro.
of getting a clip up. Now, in Agent's sit down and hashing out of the situation, he gave No Limit J a warning, something that we've been giving out for a long time that a lot of these content creators do not understand.
I didn't think this was actually your personal room. They said black market. They said Asian black market. They said this room. So I came up here.
It has beds, it has things. Like
No, I
that's-
know, but I'm not thinking. You know, there's
So
multiple
look, bro,
rooms.
there's
in it stashed.
if you came in here and on some content busted
did.
busted in the room. If I'm in the room, I'm saying,
Right.
You coming in here without a camera, you got to think. Oh, we just minimize it. My analytics is up.
No,
like,
no,
my
I didn't come
stream
here.
is up.
That's
My
what I'm saying,
count's up.
though.
It doesn't
I
matter.
understand that.
You
You're right,
came
you're
in the room.
right,
You didn't know where the stuff was, right?
You're right.
Because we hit
I
it.
didn't- That's what I'm saying. I didn't come all in these rooms like that. I
Bro,
was peeking
look,
around,
look, just
and then we
let
walked in there.
me share some intel with you, my.
Sure.
There's lines, bro.
And while I get what Agent is saying, and I totally wholeheartedly agree, we have to look back at what's been happening over the past couple of years with content creation and realize that a lot of the stuff that's going on today are from actions of the past, stuff that we should have stopped and nipped in the bud a long time ago. But because we
Nigga
are
said
now
nipped in the
here,
butt?
we're getting mad at basically these new creators for doing these things that their favorite creators have been doing in the past. Like, they're convinced that this is their way out. Like, this is the way to get a bunch of money, and they're willing to do any and everything in order to get that money.
All right, y'all. I guess I'm getting fired.
We knew that.
Yes!
Wait, what?
When the fuck did I said the same shit.
Corey2U was a big success at Streamer University. You know, took advantage of the whole situation, had DDG react to him
I heard
and
that
split
nigga
farming
was
attempts,
broke.
and it went over fairly well. He
That's
didn't
cool
put
though.
anybody in harm's way.
Like,
But
I heard
the
that nigga
idea-
was, I don't know if he said homeless, but he said he was goddamn broke. Like, he had no money in his bank account and went there. And now he
of creating
like
content being
came
just
up, bro.
a continuous clip farm for what he says to be money.
That
To
would be
me,
good if
just
I wasn't
doesn't
broke.
Sit right, because I have to ask, how far are you willing to go?
I went to Streamer U broke.
Yeah.
My account was negative 612. My credit cards were maxed out, all because of
See, I'd be happy. I'd be happy if I was. I'd be happy for him if I wasn't broke. Like, I need to be happy myself to be happy for another nigga.
Cash App. You know what's crazy, Chad? I had no bread to get back on that flight and check in any bags. I'm telling you,
like
God is
embarrassed
real,
them,
bro.
like,
An inspirational
I don't know,
story,
bro.
but a warning sign nonetheless. Because at the end of the day, there's something that is supposed to be more aspirational and inspirational to content creation than getting the money from doing said content creation. Because all that happens is you realize that the negative things, the clip farms, the over-the-top takes are the things that reign supreme. So you're willing to do any and everything in order to basically get it off.
That
So once
reminded
they
me.
start
It was this nigga. His name was Nizzy. Yeah, it was Nizzy, and it was like a clip of him. And this nigga said he put. This nigga said he puts fucking Duke Dennis over Jesus Christ. Over Jesus Christ. That's what this nigga said, bro. And that's so crazy. Like, bro, you're going to hell, bro. You're going to
People
hell.
like DDG are essentially the method. They're gonna continue to rehash that over
Like, no
and over
fucking
and over
way.
and over again.
He said
Even
that
if
bitch
it
with a
means
smirk on his
getting
face
hands
too,
put on
bro.
you, or distracting from what is supposed to be a beautiful moment at something like Streamer University, where people are coming to actually physically learn.
Who said that?
You said that.
You want to escort him out?
No, who said that?
No, I was answering his question.
Get out.
Leo Todd. They talking about
Dio.
Bruce. I'm a plant. What they talking about? Dio Todd died.
Another issue that I have with clip farming
Dio.
is that these people get so wrapped up into it, you know, instead of building the actual audience but going for the clicks and the views, that it ultimately becomes their brand, and it can be damaging. I know y'all are tired of me beating this dead horse, but this is basically the Zoe Spencer paradox. Going out there doing whatever it takes in order to continuously get some sort of traction, likes, or views, that it becomes your brand, to the point where you have the internet blasting you and calling you annoying for who you are.
I don't think Zoe's I don't think she's annoying. I think that's kind of her brand though, bro. So like, if you're not comfortable around it, then you're not comfortable around it. But that's just her brand, bro.
Now, with that being said, all of that could be true. It could be her brand, but at some point, people are ultimately going to get tired of this persona. There's nothing genuine about you. You're just wanting to and willing to whip out a phone and a camera in order to capture any moment, and that could be at anybody's
I didn't even know about Zoe Spencer.
This will blow over sooner rather
because
than
she was
later.
annoying.
But right now, this stain
it was
on her
because of
image
Kai
being annoying or being some person who
because
commits SA without any sort of context behind it is hurting her in a bigger way than it is helping her. Now, with the clip farming at an all-time high, it begs the question: should there be some sort of ramifications for clip farmers? Now, I don't know what that is outside of just a community shunning, and ultimately I think that the views will be reflective of the content that they put out, because what I've noticed this past weekend is that a lot of these clip farmers, a lot of these new age streamers, a lot of these people wanting to participate in this content really don't have a plan.
Megan Thee Stallion's new tequila, so you get to test it out and take a picture in the photo booth.
I don't know, it's really free Tory, so I don't know. I said it's free Tory. We signed with my man's Tory.
They're just out there trying to get the most outlandish clips possible.
No, wait. She said free Tory.
It's new tequila, so you get to test it out and take a picture in the photo booth.
I don't know, it's really free Tory, so I don't know. I said it's free Tory. We signed with my man's Tory.
They're just out there trying
That's
to get
actually
the
a good clip. I ain't gonna lie. That's a great clip.
Possible.
I know that guy got 100,000 likes on TikTok. That's a great clip. Passed out. Yeah, that nigga with the glass looks so uncomfortable. Oh fuck. Look at this nigga. Bro, wait. Bro, this nigga looks so this nigga looks so uncomfortable, bro. That shit is funny, bro. Bro.
Echoing my sentiments from the Streamer University video and live stream that I did just last week, again in this video, I saw a bunch of up-and-coming content creators, you know, people aspiring to be content creators, truly not knowing what they're doing, not having a plan, not having a direction, not having.
I ain't gonna lie, I really don't. Actually, I do have a plan. I have a lot of big plans.
Try to gain from telling
I have a lot of big plans. But I need to get follow or subscribers, man. I need to get niggas to watch, and then I could use my plans to put my plans to motion. But my plan not gonna go into motion if I get goddamn 8 views a video, bro. Come on, YouTube, man. I'm one of the good ones. I'm one of the good black people. I'm one of the good ones.
He's so fine, she would suck his dick. Like,
what?
I understand
Wait, what?
the moment, and it's funny or whatever the. So fine, she best clip possible. What did that woman try to gain from telling Agent that he's so fine she would suck his dick? Like, I understand the moment and it's funny or whatever the case may be, but how do you go about building a brand?
A nigga like me, I would've took up on that offer.
Doing the fake pass out thing, it's funny for the moment until it's not funny for the moment, and it gets not funny for the moment very, very fast.
Oh, so I'm
These
fine,
are people
huh?
that don't have any sort of repackaging plan for their content. You know, throw it up thumbnail title. They don't have any way of feeding it to another audience. They are literally searching for and looking for the biggest content creators at the convention or at whatever establishment they're at or whatever moment that they can get, and trying to get some sort of clip from that. Like, how will that young lady go about uploading that video to
that's
YouTube
hustle
or to
though,
Twitter?
bro.
What,
For real, like Ray got a whole fucking Ray got a whole fucking his life is fucking set. Like, he don't gotta worry about nothing ever again. Because he walked up to... This nigga met Kai once. And now his life is set. That's why them niggas are walking up to them big niggas. Because they think they could, that, like, that's a possibility. Because they seen that shit happen before. That's why, bro.
I told Agent 00 I would suck his dick. I told the biggest content creators at the con I would suck their dicks. Is that content? I don't think that that's content.
That's content on another app.
That clip is not going to be
YouTube,
long lasting. Ultimately, we knew that clip farming would get to a point where people were basically getting their hands and feet placed on them by anybody else because they are going over the top. And I don't condone what DDG, Dub, and the cameraman did to that young man today, but please let this
what they did to that young man. That young man did it to himself, bro.
Look, I want to take a second here at the end of this video to do something.
Nigga walked up to him disrespecting him. What did he expect?
Uploads and is out for a couple hours. I'm projecting that we will cross 100,000 subs.
And he did get 100,000.
Finally, we did it. We made it as a community, as a whole. You know that I'm going to always say I could never do anything like this without viewers like you and the ability to share some of these videos. Thank you guys for sticking with me through the ups and the downs. You know, a couple months ago when I got some copyright claims, a lot of people were saying they couldn't see my content or find my content, but you stuck through it and you didn't choose another commentary channel, you know, that provided you with the content that I can provide you with. I'm very appreciative of that. Appreciative?
Thank you. You're welcome, man.
Thank you for everybody who came up to me at DreamCon and stopped me and decided to take pictures and stuff like that. You guys are the reason that I make these.
Is that my nigga Bezos and bro, that's Bezos and TSO Sage, bro, and Omar. Is that Omar? Yeah, I think that's Omar. Wait, no, wait. Yeah, I don't know.
I had to take pictures and stuff like that.
That's
you guys are the
that's Bezos, bro. That's funny, bro.
Shouts out to, you know, other commentary
that's
channels
hilarious.
like 4D Shams, like Cameron, like Abba.
That's a good video, though.